What's going on, beautiful brothers? This is David Lyon, founder of Evolving Man. How to heal yourself from positive thinking. So what I'm going to dive into in this video is the negative effects of the kind of positive thinking that I'll be sharing with you in this video. The truth that lies in the idea of thinking positively, the way that I used to get it really wrong, and I see many people getting it wrong and just doing it in a way that is not supportive. And then I want to wrap this up by sharing a way of handling your negative beliefs that actually helps you move forward, transform them into something that is actually supporting you more on your path. Now, let me start with a short story. When I started meditating about 10 years ago, I heard a lot from other people that you're going to face a lot of thoughts, and don't worry about that. There's nothing wrong about many thoughts coming up when you meditate. And so I kind of heard it as like, it's still kind of wrong when you have thoughts. So I tried really hard not to have any thoughts, and it worked. And I was really proud of myself. And I told myself, wow, I must be really special if you know, all these people struggle with thoughts coming up while meditating and I don't. Until I realized that what I had done was I had just tensed up so much while meditating. I had been so intensely focused with a lot of like force on my breath that there was just no space for any thoughts to pop up. Now, did that mean I had no thoughts? There were no thoughts in my mind at that time? No, absolutely not. There were probably a lot of thoughts, but I just didn't see them. And so the same principle applies to positive thinking. It's like when we excessively focus on only having positive thoughts and we like use force to only think positively, to only have these super pretty expansive thoughts, does that mean that we don't have any negative thoughts? No, it does not. And so what I've done a lot to myself was censoring myself, pretending that I had only positive thoughts and just holding back any kind of negative belief that would show up. And so I've noticed for myself and for a lot of people I talk to and I work with that actually does not help you transform the negative thoughts. Like they're still going to be there. Just because you try not to look at them or you pretend they're not there, that's not going to help you transform them. And so it's actually going to keep you stuck. Now let's look at the truth that actually lies in this positive thinking idea. And so for me, that is that what we focus on grows. What we put attention on grows. But that for me, that's a process that happens over time, right? So it's not like I have one negative thought and because it popped up, it's suddenly going to become reality. Like just because I think, oh, this guy's an asshole, karma is going to hit me right back in a moment and whatever is going to like hurt me badly. For me, this truth is more of a what I focus on over longer periods of time, that's going to expand. So it's probably going to make a bit difference if I have a list of thoughts and I read them every day to myself, like I'm a piece of shit, I shouldn't exist, I'm worthless, I will never get what I want. Like if I do this for a year, I will probably really see the effects of this if I believe in these thoughts. Whereas if I have a list of things like I can accomplish what I want to accomplish, I believe in myself, I work for the benefit of all beings, whatever it is, if I focus on them for over a long period of time, that is going to affect my reality. Right? Now, where most people are getting it wrong is, as I said before, they're using a lot of force to hold back any uncomfortable negative beliefs about themselves. And the paradoxical thing is what you resist, you actually hold on to. Like when you tense up around something, you're not helping it actually be released. So these thoughts that we all have, and I think this is also important to say in the most compassionate way, is if you had no negative beliefs whatsoever, you would be able to create the life that you want like without any difficulties. You would just be doing it. But the truth is that most people have negative self-limiting beliefs. And so they are holding us back. They're making it harder for us to actually take action towards what we want and to just feel good about ourselves. And so when we actually take time to observe our negative thoughts, right? And this is already kind of going into the last point that I want to share with you, is how to handle your negative beliefs. So on one hand, we have this kind of resistance, like we're actually holding on. We think that we're trying to like push it out, but what we're actually doing is we're holding these beliefs that we hold about ourselves, about life, about how things work, like we're holding them actually close to us. And so how does releasing actually work? I think that's an important part. And for me, releasing works by observing and not reacting to whatever is coming up. Which means I need to be able to see my negative beliefs in order to release them. I need to allow myself to witness, oh look, I've been carrying this thought within me for a long time. I've been telling myself that I'm not good enough to get what I want. And so yes, this is uncomfortable if we do that, but it's the only real way of getting past it. And there's one piece that I feel really, that has helped me a lot in bringing more humor and ease and fun into this whole idea of negative thinking and like the negative self-limiting beliefs. And this actually, I want to credit Mike Helvig, who wrote a book which is actually called in German, Healing Yourself from Positive Thinking, which I got a lot of inspiration from. He says, sometimes what we need to do is when there's a part in us that has this really negative belief about something, is instead of like pretending it's not there, or instead of pretending like, you know, there's this part in me, it's very clear it's not me, but there's this part in me that believes this, but we're still kind of identified with this part, right? Like we're not fully just observing it with compassion. We're like, I don't want to have this part here, so I'm going to pretend like it's just a part, but it has no power over me. And so this is resistance. Now, what you can do instead, which can be a lot of fun when you allow yourself to do this, is when you have like any negative thought that comes up, is to, for a while, to just go fully into it. To like fully go into the drama that is going on. I have a friend of mine currently who is a coach and who has some struggles in getting clients. And so, you know, there are all these fears coming up. And one thing that came up while talking to him was, you know, just fully go into these fears and be like, oh my God, this is never gonna work. I'm such a failure. I don't know why I chose this path. This is so terribly hard. And this is so much harder for me than for anyone else. And I'm just a loser. And why do I keep on creating these situations where I fail? And by like really stepping into it, we're starting to see how ridiculous they are, right? We're starting to see that they're really not true, that they're like a very particular lens through which we're observing reality. And we need to allow ourselves to like fully step into the drama for a moment to see, oh wow, this is actually just ridiculous drama, and I don't need to take it so seriously. And so this is kind of the antidote that I see to this kind of idea of positive thinking and only positive thoughts, and that's the only thing I should focus on, is when you notice like there's something that you've been carrying with you, like any kind of limiting belief, and it can be really helpful to do that with another person who's witnessing you, is like to fully step into it and fully express the drama. And the thing is, when you actually manage to meet the energy of this belief and embody it, there's going to be this release in your body, this kind of because it's something that you've been carrying with you for a long time. And so if you want to let go of it, you need to fully express it. You need to step into it. At least that's one really powerful way of doing that. Right? So to sum up what I've shared with you, is I've told you the negative effects that I see when we believe we can only think positive thoughts, how we're censoring ourselves, we're using a lot of force, we're not looking at reality as it is, we're like, it should be different, I have to have different beliefs, and we're not actually moving forward. I shared with you that for me there's truth in what you focus on grows, but this is more of a thing that over longer periods of time. It's not like if there's one negative thought that pops up, it's suddenly going to destroy your whole life. And so what I see many people getting wrong, and what I got wrong for a really long time, is if there was something in me I didn't like, I resisted it. I tensed up. And so that's what actually holds these beliefs or the uncomfortable emotions actually in your system. Whereas when you're willing to observe and you just are with it, and you notice all the reactions that are coming up and all the stories that are coming up, and you keep reminding yourself, if I want to release, there's nothing actually for me to do. I just need to observe. Then that's how the negative beliefs and the emotions works for anything is going to come up, is going to come into your field of awareness, and by getting seen is going to move on. And so this last thing about a way to have more fun and ease and joy with all your negative beliefs is to allow yourself to fully step into them and fully step into the drama. This is why I believe we like to play, we like to act, because it's a way to release something when we fully embody something first, right? So allow yourself that. You can write it down. You can write down the worst thoughts that you have so that you're able to see them. Or you allow yourself to be witnessed by someone you trust, and you fully step into some kind of drama that you have so that you can observe it more clearly. So I hope this was useful. For me, this has been really revolutionary, of just stopping this censoring and allowing myself to see the self-limiting beliefs that I have. And once I see them, then I can choose a different belief, right? But I don't choose a different belief that I kind of always put on top whenever the negative belief comes up to kind of hold it down. That's just tiring. So if you have any questions, comments about this, please let me know. If this was useful, then share it. Now, as always, with Evolving Man, you're seen, you're loved, you're appreciated. Keep evolving, and I shall talk to you soon. Peace.